Hi fellow druids, Orph here. Today's video is going to be a bit different. I've been inspired by one other YouTuber who commented on one of my videos to make a video or a guide about talents that I use, PvP talents that I use in RBGs, a bit of strategy, just a few things to go over, and I thought that'd be a good idea. Some guildies have told me that they think that'd be a good idea as well for them and for other druids. So this by no means will be a masterclass. It probably won't be too long, but we'll have a go. Sit back, relax, and tell me how wrong I am. I apologize. I try to look in camera when I'm streaming. I will continue to look back and forth as I'm going over talents, PvP talents and whatnot, but if I get distracted or don't look back for a while, I apologize. So, here we go. First things first, I'm just going to go over my PvP talents. So, we'll go from here, and we'll start with the top. These I don't even believe are in a specific order. I've been using them to test out a few things over the past day or so. I've recently come to discover that Emerald Slumber is a really good talent for just all around RBGs. So you can read it. So embrace the Emerald Dream. You sleep for 8 seconds. While sleeping, all of your other cooldowns, so Emerald Dream, Emerald Slumber does not reset it doesn't speed up itself, but all your other cooldowns go 400% faster, and they heal allies and yourself every second. So it's a pretty okay chunk of healing. I tested it with some duels earlier. Literally any damage stops the cast. It is I guess a channel is what you'd call it. So just use it when nobody's around. So scenarios I've thought of: running the flag back. Let's say you speed back to cap the flag. You've used your Incarn to stay out of CC. You've convoked to either heal yourself or get out of some damage or do some damage to somebody else. Anything. And you get back to your base. So you're sitting on the top of Warsong Gulch in your base, and you've got your push group with you. So your 2 healers or 3 healers in our case, your DPS, 2 DPS. However, they've maybe used their cooldowns as well. It only helps your cooldowns, but it's very good. So in thinking, you bursted all my stuff, got on the top. We're sitting here for anywhere from 30 seconds to a minute and a half or so. Pop Emerald Slumber. It takes about 30 seconds. I didn't have a stopwatch going or anything, and we can use it right now. Exciting new discovery. I just tried it and messed up, so I edited that part out. But you cannot use it while your incarnation is up, it seems. So I tried popping Convoke, tried popping Incarnation, and then I immediately pressed Emerald Slumber. It doesn't seem to work for that 30 seconds that Incarn's up. So, thought. But I know, okay, so I'm just going to do all the cooldowns that I can think of. So I'm going to Convoke. I'm going to let it run down. I'm going to use my trinket. I'm going to encap Roar. I'm going to, let's see, let's use all of my defensives. And then I think that might be all that I can do. Okay, so test it out in stopwatch. Everything is speeding up. Alright, and that's 8 seconds. Alright. 7 seconds, I suppose. Well, I guess 8 since I didn't pause it. But, so it does not speed up your Emerald Slumber cooldown, but it seems to have sped up everything else. I also know that it does speed up Incarnation's cooldown as well, because after the 30-second trial, I used it again when it still had about 20 seconds left on the cooldown, and it did take it back down. So it's really good. You get went on in an FC map, you survive, Emerald Slumber, heal yourself, reset all your defensive cooldowns, reset everything that you've got. Same thing for node sitting. Sit in a node, you kill the AS, they push to Lighthouse, use it. After you have to be out of combat because again damage takes it away, but use it. It's 8 seconds. It's really good for all scenarios. So I really recommend taking Emerald Slumber just as a generic talent. The other generic one that I take, apparently I'm not in a rest area. The next one I would kind of generically take, especially on nodes, is Toughness. Just duration of stuns decreased by 25%. It's a no-brainer. Stunned, decrease. I don't know that there's anything else you need to say about that, but I think according to all the sites, that is the #1 take from everybody. So what I've kind of been doing is I've done Toughness, Demoralizing Roar, and Emerald Slumber on maps that I'm sitting like Arathi Basin or Deepwind Gorge, where Ruckus will send us into the middle to just spin. Sometimes instead of Demoralizing Roar to reduce their damage, I've been using Grove Protection, which you pop little stones here. Anybody that stands in your stones gets 40% reduced damage from people that are outside of the stones. So I'm sitting in my stones, I have a healer in here with me, and people are trying to pop off on us. It's 40% less damage. That one's real good that I've seen for just sitting a node while you're just spinning. You're spinning Eye of the Storm, spinning Arathi Basin, any of those sorts of things. I have never taken Master Shapeshifter. I'm sure there are some talents in here that I should definitely take a look at. Kind of go by what a mixture of people that I've seen in Discords, guides have been using. So I kind of stick with Toughness. Like I said, Demoralizing Roar, which just 20% less damage for 8 seconds. And it's seems better to me because you can have it more often than you can Emerald's Grove Protection. But I've stacked them up. I'm doing both of them. I intertwine them, or I'll do Emerald's Grove Protection first, then I'll pop Demoralizing Roar. I'll switch back and forth, because at that point you're only overlapping a 30-minute cooldown time, or 30-second cooldown time. So Malorn's Swiftness is another one that I've taken for FC maps only. You can't be slowed to less than 100%. So your increased speed by 20% as a stag, so that helps you get out faster. And you will never be slowed to less than 100% while you're in travel form. Only in travel form. You can still be slowed as a bear, as a cat, in caster form. But Malorn's Swiftness I usually always take for FC maps because it helps us get across, especially Twin Peaks. It's a longer run back, it seems like to me. It may not be in general, but it just seems like it's a longer run back where you're always going all the way around the side to the graveyard, but you're able to go. I think it's a pretty good overall PvP talent for flag carry maps. Den Mother, I've kind of used this on some node sitting maps as well, specifically spinning Eye of the Storm, again Arathi Basin, Deepwind Gorge, for just the increased health. If you get a bunch of people sitting with you, if you know you're going to have people sitting with you the entire game, like specifically Eye of the Storm, 15% more health. Like, I wouldn't take this on Gilneas. I'm sitting by myself. Useless. I wouldn't take it in Mines. Again, I play Boomkin in Mines anyway, so I don't particularly care for Den Mother unless it's like a specific Eye of the Storm map where you know you're going to be spinning middle the entire time. Demoralizing Roar we've went over. Raging Frenzy, I haven't used Raging Frenzy. I haven't used Sharpened Claws. I've used Charging Bash and Overrun in tangent with each other on FC maps as well. So I Skull Bash to an enemy a little further, and then I immediately Overrun to another enemy. So I can Wild Charge, Skull Bash, Overrun, if they're lined up the right way, to get a pretty good, what is it, like 30, 45 total yards. Let's see. So you charge, which, I mean, it's not as far as Leap with travel form, so I'd maybe say 15 yards. Overrun gives you another 15, and then Charging Bash gives you an extra 10 off of 13 yards. So that's 20, that's like 50. The last math class I took was in like 2004, guys. But that's a massive rush. I mean, you could leap first instead of wild charging, but or cat form leap. I mean, that stuns them at least, or incapacitates them. So that's a pretty good tangent. I don't know that would stack up really well with the other stuff that I use in FC maps, but I started off, I ended last season actually using that combination. I had Malorn Swiftness, Charging Bash, and Overrun, and then I would just charge, Skull Bash, Overrun, go, and you could get pretty far. So it's good still. I wouldn't say don't take it, but it's kind of a pick and choose situation. I guess it depends on the composition. Bunch of ranged DPS that are on you, definitely. Overrun, Charging Bash, just get more out of what you're doing. I figured I would take a second and just show this to everybody. Alright, so we're gonna run in. Let's probably do this dude. And okay, here is where I can Skull Bash. All the way back here. This is my Skull Bash range. I can't put a world marker up, that's fine. We know where we are. Now, let's swap something else. Okay. How far do I have to go to be able to Skull Bash? Right here. That's different. That makes a difference. So let's go back. And then again, I can overrun from about the same place. I can wild charge from a little further back than that. So we could essentially, let's put this back up. We could essentially, let's do this. Let's go in. Okay, we're going. We're gonna go, and we're gonna Skull Bash. I'm gonna swap forms, jump, go back into bear form, and then overrun. Like, that's a great combination. I don't really use entangling roots in general. I use mass entanglement a whole bunch. So I don't know that I should be using this more or picking it more, but it would be good if I used entangling roots in general. Alpha Challenge, I have taken less than a handful of times. Focus on the target, increasing their damage taken by 3% for 6 seconds. Every person that attacks every teammate that you have that attacks that target increases their damage taken by another 3%. It stacks up to 5 times. So maybe Eye of the Storm. Again, you're sitting there, you have Mal calling targets. Paladin, you're on the Paladin. Alpha Challenge, you growl, and they get their damage increased by, what is that, 15%. for 6 seconds. It's a 20-second cooldown. That seems pretty good. I've taken it again less than a handful of times. I just find more use in the other talents, truthfully, especially now that they've brought out Emerald Slumber, Grove Protection. Those seem to overtake the others, in my opinion. But that one, I mean, again, handful of times, it's a situational based thing. Malorn Swiftness we've gone over. Freedom of the Herd. Roots and Snares get cleared. That, again, an FC map, but again, a handful of times, because you're taking Malorn Swiftness, you're taking Emerald Slumber, you're taking the Charging Scholar, Overrun, Toughness for the stun. Like, Druids have too many good talents for 3 spots. And I think that's all I'll say about PvP talents. Again, there are a few on here that I know I should be using more, or I should even try. I don't know that I've touched Sharpened Claws or Raging Frenzy ever. Not once, truthfully. So, but yeah, I will move on to regular talents this time. Alright, I'm up to regular talents now. So, just a few... There are a few talents I never change out of. I have not once changed out of Brambles for the damage that it can hit a rogue with while you're spinning a node. So, Brambles protect you, they absorb, reflect 116 damage from each attack. So, while Bark Skin is active, the Brambles that are coming out of you deal 76 nature damage every second. So, you hit Bark Skin, and you got a Bark Skin up for 12 seconds. The Brambles that you see on the screen up there, that's hitting the Rogue or the Druid. Now, it gets CC'd, you can get Cyclone through this and everything. But if you get stunned, let's say you get sapped, even if you're in invis, they can find you. So you're as far as you can be away from the flag. You get sapped, they run up to the flag. Well, if you're far enough away, you're not going to get sap capped. You need to be as far back as you can to not get sap capped. So they have their 6 seconds of sap. You come out and immediately hit your Moonfire. I'd charge in, or I'll leap in, or whatever. I'll hit Bark Skin. Boom, it's hitting them. Sit right on the flag, hit them with Bark Skin. They can sap, or not sap you. They can blind you again. You can get CC'd again, but they're not going to be able to cap with that. Blood Frenzy, Thrash does extra 2 rage. It doesn't matter. You generate rage based on the damage you take. Again, I'm not generating rage other than things to do Iron Fur, but I get enough rage by doing regular damage to enemies that are around me. So, Brambles, I've never switched off of it. I never will, unless it gets nerfed through the ground. Level 25 talent range, Tiger Dash, I've never taken. Wild Charge is usually my default, just because I can leap, I can daze them in cat form if I'm stealthing to a flag. I did not know this for forever, but if you leap to a person in cat form, they get dazed. You do not come out of stealth. So that was super exciting for me to find out that I can jump to somebody that's sitting in front of the tunnel in Warsong Gulch. They can get dazed for 2 seconds, and I can just keep running. As long as it's not a person, a pally that can drop their yellow cool stuff. Anything that can just area affect you. I would never do it to a demon hunter, but it's in scenarios where you can do that. I love Wild Charge. You can leap off the top of the building in travel form. Aquatic form, it helps me get on the water side. In Twin Peaks, I go in the flag room, incapacitating roar to grab the flag, get any rogues out of stealth, run out. The water side, immediately hop in travel form. It puts me as my dolphin, and I swim for 150% for 5 seconds, and that usually shoots me out onto the platform by the house on the other side. So Wild Charge is super good. Renewal is also a really good talent. It's just 30% chunk of heals. Like, it's probably better. I've taken it on Arathi Basin. I've taken it on Eye of the Storm. I need that. It's like I'm not going to be able to keep this node renewal. Like 0 to 30, or I mean, you know, it's real good if you're just sitting something. I would take renewal in those situations. I've never taken Tiger's Dash. I think I took it as a Torghast artifact talent or whatever once or twice when they give it to you, but I wouldn't take it in an RBG situation. I am 98-ish% of the time in Restoration Affinity for my level 30 talents. You constantly are getting healed every 3% maximum health for every 5 seconds. That's OP. If you're at full health, it heals somebody else. You're sitting at stables, and you've got a rogue incoming. Okay, cool, rogue's here. Well, Scary pops over on his mage to try and help me. I'm at full health. You know, man, I can't remember what they're called. I'm Frenzied Regeneration. Got myself up, so it's healing Scary now. I got heals on my mage. Mages don't have heals. I'm healing my teammates. The other 2, 3, 4% of the time I take Balance Affinity. It is more specifically for, again, spinning. I would use this on Arathi Basin only if I'm forced to go to LM and do our cryptidly cool push strategy, where you sit stealth up in the wood behind LM until literally one person is there or they just ghost it. You can go in, typhoon the person off the edge, because most people are stupid and they'll sit on the edge for some reason. They're trying to look down, they want to see what's happening at BS. I mean, you know, what's hitting farm, or, you know, can I see over in the stables what's going on? Typhoon, cap the flag, you're good to go. I mean, it helps your range while you're spinning as well. So if you are spinning a node, you could be a little further away, 3-4 yards, 3 yards away from the flag while you're spinning. But I take Balance Affinity specifically for Typhoon on Arathi Basin. 35 I switch out, probably it's 70-30 maybe. Mass Entanglement is too good for flag carry maps. Running across the field, you can use it in travel form, you can use it in bear form, cat form, any form. You mass entangle anybody that's behind you. I've mass entangled warlocks that are coming in from the side. Boom, mass entangle, they get stuck. I just keep running. I've had situations where I've capped the flag because I was able to entangle people behind me. Mighty Bash is, I mean, it's an interrupt, it's a stun. You're able to, I have paired this on Convokes with Skull Bash before. Skull Bash, it's on cooldown. If I'm still by that Balanced Druid, I'll Mighty Bash again. It's good in very niche situations, I believe, in Rated Battlegrounds, but I don't take Heart of the Wild, so I would mostly stay with Mass Entanglement and Mighty Bash on, depending on the situation. I have not switched off my 40 talents ever. Incarnation, again, it pairs with my legendary, which I think I have on, so I'll have to open my character panel. Yeah, the Legacy of the Sleeper, it's 25% increased damage, 15% leech, and you can't get CC'd while Incarn is up. You have 30 seconds for free. Like, they pair together, you have to take it. So it's a no-brainer. I mean, again, you incapacitating Roar when you pick up a flag in Warsong Gulch. The rogue's there. He gets incapped. So okay, cool. He trinkets out of that. I immediately press Incarn to be able to get out of the room, not be slowed down, and to get out of the room as fast as I can. I religiously, even if I don't find the rogue, sometimes it's so much of a passive thing that I just will press Incarnation as soon as I get the flag, just to make sure that I can get out of the room and not get slowed down. The others, I didn't. 5% chance. I've never even looked at this one. Tell you the truth. I know Soul of the Forest deals 25% more damage with Mangle, but again, I'm not looking for damage unless I'm in a team fight. But again, I'm not going to switch out of Incarn. Galactic Guardian, Moonfire, generates 8 rage and deals 300% increased damage. I am not doing damage in an RBG. That's not what I'm there for. So Incarn all the way. Again, this one is kind of, I wouldn't say interchangeable, but survival of the fittest is 99.8% of the time that I will take on my level 45 talents. Bark Skin and Survival Instincts are decreased by 33%, or their cooldowns 33% less. I'm almost not going to give that up. Like, that's again almost mandatory. Mangle, I mean, I'm not iron furring. Like, I don't know that I get enough rage with what I'm doing to be able to make this effective. Most people I don't see take it, they'll either take Earth Warden or they'll take Survival of the Fittest. But Guardian of Elune, I mean, it's a 20% frenzied increase, so that could be good in some situations. But again, at 0.1% of the time that I would ever take that talent. Or Earth Warden, you reduce the next auto attack damage you take by 30%. You get 3 charges of Earth Warden. That's okay if I'm fighting a warrior or something, or a rogue or something I need to get. But I won't switch off Survival of the Fittest. And then for my last row of talents, Rend and Tear, I'm thrashing. I am constantly thrashing, swiping, thrashing, swiping, swipe, 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 thrash, swipe, 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 mangle, thrash, swipe, mangle, thrash, move fire, move fire. Thrash reduces the damage that they do to you by 2% and increases the damage that you do to them by 2%. The damage I do to them is cool and everything. I've killed a few rogues dueling, and I've killed a few rogues sitting on the base, but it's more so the 3 stacks of thrash that you can have that will decrease your damage by 6%, or decrease the damage you take by 6%. So that one, I've never moved off of Rend and Tear on this row. Tooth and Claw auto attacks have a 20% chance to empower your next maul, stacking up to 2 times. You deal 40 increased damage and reduces the target's damage to you by 15% for 6 seconds. I don't maul enough. I'm using my mauls, like those stacks, for Iron Fur. I 85-90% of the time I'm using Iron Fur over maul. Like, there are very few times where I'll hit maul. It's not going to help me. Pulverize, you use stacks of your thrash that are on the target to deal 3k 2840 physical damage to the target and reduce the damage they deal to you by 35%. It's a 45-second cooldown. I mean, in those 45 seconds, I could be cycling through thrash, 6, 12, it's 24. That's at least 6 or 7 times that I could have done that and then gotten my stacks back up for Rend and Tear. So, I mean, these seem great. I haven't moved off of Rend and Tear. I just haven't done it. I've gone over my talents and my PvP talents. I'll go over stat distributions just a tiny bit. I can't min and max. I don't really know how to do it, so I follow some guides that I've seen on murloc.io, murlok.io, subtle plug. I use that a whole bunch. Loot District I have also used, I believe is what it's called. But for what I'm kind of seeing, anywhere from 50 druids or so that it pulls information from, is floating critical strike at 11-12% or so. I've got 13. I can't seem to get away from 13 no matter how many pieces I replace with haste and mastery. I can't get outside of 13%. I've optimized my gear as much as I can, but the critical strike range 11-12% or so. Haste, you're looking for 9 to 10%. That will help with cyclones. You don't really need more than 8 or so percent that I found. Haste is as a Guardian Druid, is going to help you with your cast, which is Cyclone. If you're cycloning people, you have to have haste. 5%, I think, is what they say for feral druids. 5 or 6%. I'm not casting. I'm not a boomkin while I'm a bear form. I'm not casting anything. I'm not star firing, moon shooting, or star surge or anything. I am casting cyclone a few times a game. I probably have too much haste. What I've seen is about 8 or 9%. Mastery, 8% is kind of what I've seen across the board. It is it's just max health, healing received. Attack power, again, doesn't particularly matter. You're always wanting to attack. I'm always hitting something. But again, it's 8-9% is what you can get with the gear that's available now. Most of it's got haste, most of it's got crit. You're just looking through my pieces. Like, I'm at haste, mastery, because I was able to find a mastery necklace. Critical strike, haste. That's got mastery. Where's the haste? So you're looking at just a ton of crit and haste pieces, and only 2, maybe 3, because I purchased things with mastery on them. I made these with haste again specifically because I want to cast a few more cyclones in a game, get them off a little faster. So, but mastery, haste, critical strike aren't really what you're looking for. You're looking for 29 to 31% versatility. 30 is the cutoff for your diminishing returns. You don't have to have extra versatility to hit those percentages over 30%. Or I'm sorry, under 30%. If you're going anywhere from 25, 26, 27, 28, you're immediately getting your versatility returns to 30%. But once you're at that 30, 31 range, I would stop that. I would not take any more than I have right now. I don't think 31% seems to be good. I've gemmed away from versatility, like I've gemmed to haste on some of these pieces, or a mastery. I'm sorry, I've gemmed to mastery on a few of these pieces, but that's you'll get diminishing returns past this point. Leech, speed, dodge. There's just a few things that I've been able to get on some pieces that I've gotten. I think my weapon? No, something I have has leech on it, and I don't remember what it is. Something. There it is. My cloak. I bought this cloak last season, and I've been using it the entire time until I can get a cloak that'll PvP item level above what I have. I'll wait. But it gives you a little bit of pull. You hit, it gives you a little bit of heal back. It's good. 1.62%. I'm not really leeching much off of people. Speed, that's just for my cloak. That's the only reason I have any speed, is because I'm getting 3% extra movement speed from my cloak. Movement speed, faster getting the flag back. I'm faster to get to a node. I'm faster is what you're looking for. And then dodge, I get 2.5% to get dodge before the diminishing returns that you have. So you're looking at 16.09%. So my dodge chance on anything, but that's part of the build for a tank. PvP item level sitting at 230. I feel like I'm doing pretty good. So I've got some guild mates that are at like 235, 239, or something like that. They're roasting me. I don't really know how. Mythic raids probably, but I think we're doing pretty well. Yeah. There are some standard enchantments that you take. You only have a few as any class. Again, fortified speed, so you're getting 20 stamina and you get 30 speed on your cloak, so that helps you get across the map a little faster. Eternal stats for your chest, you're looking at increasing your primary by 30. Again, it's just a bump to your stats. You get your primary stat increased by 30%, or 30, I'm sorry. Your bracers, I have intellect because I have the same bracers as my boomkin form, or for my boomkin spec as I do for Guardian Druid. So I'm just using the intellect for my balanced druid. So if you're going to use or be a balanced druid, do that. If you're not, use you can hearth faster, I think. What is it? Enchant braces to reduce the cooldown of your hearthstone by 5 minutes while in Shadowlands. So that's okay, but I can't use that because I balance my off spec. Hands, You can Shadowlands gather. I think I just got this last week or something. I haven't put anything on it because I don't gather. I don't do professions. I really should, but I don't have the time. I work all day and I play RBGs at night. I don't do professions and gathering, but I could put gathering, Shadowlands gathering on here. Eternal agility for your feet. You're looking at just getting 15 agility across the board. Again, agility is your #1 stat as a bear. That's what you're as a druid. Leather wearer, that's what you're using. You're using agility. And then your ring enchantments, I think I've put on mastery, or maybe they're both versatility. I could switch one of these to mastery to get my 9%, but versatility, again, if you can get it up to 31%, that's what you're looking for. And then your main hand, I've been using Celestial Guidance to increase primary stats by 5%, but I switched just recently to Ascended Vigor. You're getting your healing increased by 12. Permanently enchants a weapon to sometimes increase your healing received by 12% for 10 seconds when you're taking damage. I am always taking damage, so I switched to this. I'm going to see how this runs for a little while. But, enchants are what they are. They're pretty standard across the board for most classes. You won't get agility or intellect, but you'll have strength ones. The primary stats for your cloak and everything, your chest are all around for everybody. But yeah, last thing I'll go over for this video, I've gone on way too long, so I'll probably split my strategies up into a second video. But trinkets that I use, emblem, I just increased my health by 40%. Like, this helps me stay alive. It helps me when I'm spinning. It helps me while I'm carrying a flag. It helps me keep my health up. So I'm giving myself an extra 40% health. I got 67.7 right now. It's 1,000 plus more health that I'm gaining. 1,100 or so more health that I'm gaining, which it helps me. I don't have to say anything about the medallion. Take the medallion. You aren't a human. You are a night elf, a worgen, or a culturan. And then shackles. Last, I shackle in Balanced Druid and Feral Druid. I haven't had a chance to take shackles as a bear. I might take shackles in a instance where I'm playing mines and I am not sitting on top cart and they don't want me as Balanced Druid, but most of the time I'm playing Balanced Druid, in which I'll take shackles anyway. But you deal 10k damage, you absorb 15 or 16k over 4 seconds. It is channeled. I don't care for the channel, but when I'm a DPS, we're stacking 1 or 2 of them on somebody else. So I like it as an offensive weapon, not so much as a bear. But those are my 2 recommended trinkets. I would never switch out a medallion, and I take the emblem probably 98 or 99% of the time as my other trinket. Well, that'll about do it for me. I've gone over PvP talents for way too long. But again, there are so many of them, and there are so many good ones that it is completely comp based. It's enemy comp based. It's map based. You're looking at 7 great Guardian Druid PvP talents that you can cycle between. Your other talents, your regular level talents, are almost set in stone. Wall Charge and Renewal, Bash and Mass Entanglement are really the only ones that you ever switch out. So I would kind of just, stick with the norm. Go with what the guides tell you. Wowhead, Murloc.io, Loot District for PvP. They're really good guides. I would stick with them. Gone over the enchants, gone over the stat weights and everything. I'll make another video hopefully within the next week or so, commentating over some RBGs that I've done, some strategies. I think we're going to try to do some war games this weekend if we can, just to go over a few things. I'll record those and commentate over those. Maybe I'll try to have Scary or Ruckus join me in Discord for one of those nights. But please leave a comment if you enjoyed, if you learned anything. If you hated the video, I welcome your comment as well. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. I appreciate every single person who watches these YouTube videos. I'm not making any money. It's fun. It's a hobby. I would love to do this in real life, but until then, I work on that computer during the day. So I appreciate it. You all are loved, and thanks for stopping by. Peace. I've rambled for a really long time. I went over my talents. I've gone over my PvP talents. I will kind of, I don't know, at this point I'm just talking. Edit this part out. Pause it again.
You've got mail.
I have mail. Take the medallion. I'm gonna throw this into the middle of a video so I can actually go over Overrun. Eventually I'll figure out how to edit these videos. Dream on, dream on, dream on, dream on. Ruckus is unknown, so we're gonna do a little video for that one dude on YouTube that asked me to do a guide. This is gonna turn out terribly. I thought I pressed pause. Hippo, run into the portal. Oh, hey. Didn't see you there. You've caught me in the bath. We can go... What? I think I'm getting yelled at. Just a minute. False alarm.